Welcome back, dear students, to our continuation of the origins of blood magic and vampires under the night of the bloodied stars. My mentor, Valaris, had informed me that the prison of sorcerers had been overcome with a magical surge, powered by his small conclave, many of which had been consumed by madness and a never-ending hunger and thirst for blood, resulting in the return of the vampires to all of Icilion. As some of you may know, our first ever reported case of vampires date back to the time of Brynjar Valpensen and the Gorger tribe. However, due to research, they were more akin to cannibals rather than true blooded vampires. The 15 other sorcerers who dabbled in my mentor's teachings had all become feral beasts, thirsting for a never-ending need for blood. Their magic darkened and corrupted by the presence of the bloodied stars and the sanguine moon. Their rampancy only increased as they surged through the prison, rushing at every guard, prisoner, and anyone who wasn't consumed by the vampiric curse. A riot, bathed in crimson rivers of a never-ending bloodbath. Those who were still locked behind their bars in their cells would be fortunate enough to survive and never be touched by the vampires. However, they only had to witness the crimes and atrocities in front of them, as these men and women turned into feral beasts, gouged, flayed, and ate and maimed all that stood in their way. It was a blessing and a curse to be in that prison and behind cell doors. My mentor managed to rally all of the surviving fellow blood mages, now called hexers, and band together to use their newfound powers to stop these foul creatures before all are consumed in the prison. Without hesitation, the 15 survivors grew together, becoming the initial foundations of the Guild of Hexers. My mentor spoke to them, as sort of a rally call and instruction to become their guild leader. He spoke. "We best use our newfound hemomancy to attract the beast towards us. They act like sharks. One sniff of fresh blood and they'll come swimming our way. When possible, use a blade. Take some from the guards and use it against your own skin. Draw out enough blood and distract them from devouring the other prisoners. We need as many as we can." The hexers agreed, and after raiding the desecrated corpses of the Foxton prison guards, they delved deeper into the prison, following the trail of the carnage and ravaged carcasses of the mangled bodies of both prisoner and prison guard. Rivers of that metallic-smelling crimson liquid flowed in large puddles, pooling around the mound of corpses left behind by the carnage. These vampires were nothing more than monsters birthed out of an accident. Being mages, the hexers needn't rely on torchlight, but instead a small orb of ethereal mage light. Level by level, staircase by staircase, did the hexers ascend the gargantuan prison. As the trail led up, so did the carnage. Towards the rooftop levels, the fiendish howls and gurgles of these feral vampires could be heard from the lower levels, and only increased in volume as the hexers ascended. Drippings of blood rained down from above, both from the broken windows letting in the gushing of the bloodied rain, and the corpses all piled up on the stairs, some even rolling down still. The cowering cries of the sorcerer prisoners who had luckily been behind their cell doors wished to be well left alone by my mentor's guild, pleading them to not open their doors. More and more bodies piled up upon the staircases as my mentor and his guild of hexers ascended the staircases. Their gore was everywhere. Small pieces of body parts, some didn't even look like bodies, just mangled pieces of flesh, with mass amounts of claw marks and teeth marks. Eventually, after trudging through all the gore, they managed to reach the site. As the rain poured the bloodied water dyeing their prison robes a crimson red, the 15 vampires on bent knees were seen praising towards the low-hanging sanguine moon. They chanted in low, guttural tones, speaking in an eldritch tongue, their mouths clicking and squelching as they feasted on their newest meal, a pack of small Foxton trainee guards, all of them but teenagers. The sky, a bleak shadow, the clouds full and blackened, only left a small perfect circle in the sky for the moon to gaze down towards all of them, towards its newborn creatures and its newborn warriors of blood magic. One of these vampires, known as Wilhelm to my mentor, had taken the liberty to take one of the guard captain robes and don it like a cape. It turned, smiled viciously towards my mentor, and spoke to him with a weird pronunciation, as if he had not been tainted by this feral bestial nature.
You see, Wonderous, you see what you have created, what we have created. Thanks to you, we have untold power, one that can rival the divines. We will be unstoppable, immortal, undead, unkillable. We shall feast on the flesh of those who would capture us simply based on the powers we were born with. And now, thanks to your suggestion, your experiment, Wonderous, or shall I call you Master, we have now ascended by the blessings of the sanguine moon. It is our time to blot out the sun for eternity. No longer shall the wretched divine and his sheep scourge our powers and our peoples. It is time for the mages and the rest of the world to have its revenge. Join us.
My mentor, stunned, but managed to speak and reply to this creature.
Your cause is well and justified to seek vengeance on those who wronged us, Wilhelm.
But this is not the way to do it. Innocents are being feasted upon by the feral beings like you, unable to control their bloodlust. Some of these ones stand beside you. They've lost all manner of consciousness. It is a blessing that you still have yours. Blotting out the sun would only diminish the world into sunless days. Food, water, and the entire environment will change. The divine and his followers will be punished, I am sure of it. But this is not the way to do it, Wilhelm. The creature snarled and grunted at his former college mentor.
You know not of what we can achieve.
If all would simply bring themselves to undeath, join us in our new prowess, then no sickness shall blight us. The only food we shall need is blood, and there is plenty of the world to share it. We needn't the sun. The sun will never damage our skin, as the moon will forever remain present. Join us, Wonderous. All of you, join us. It is the way you wanted us to be. It is your experiment, after all, as to why I look like this.
Damn it, Wilhelm, you're not listening.
We're mages. People, not ghouls and undead servants.
I cannot. We cannot allow this to happen.
We can work together. Humans and every other race and your kind. If your bloodlust is satiated, we can be reasoned with. We can work together.
No, Wonderous. You clearly don't see the imagery we are trying to conceive. Perhaps in the next life. Feast on them.
Wilhelm commanded to his group of bestial vampires as he left from the rooftops, sprouting bat-like wings from his spine, and took off into the darkest of nights. A bloody brawl broke out as vampire hunter met their prey. Blades coated in emblazoned blood and claws soaked in the red liquid clashed as the storm of the bloody stars raged on, each side taking multiple casualties in this skirmish. Eventually, after an hour of fighting atop this roof, did the hexes, with fewer numbers remaining, defeat these horrid beasts. They stood in a circle, the remaining 8, and enacted the ritual of the sanguine dominance to clear this dreadful night and bring about the morning sun. The rain did cease, and the clouds did part, and the sanguine moon left our atmosphere as the sun rose beyond the horizon. The bodies of the vampires began to burst into flame, and eventually they reduced to ash. My mentor looked towards his followers and spoke aloud. We are the Guild of Hexes. We are vampire hunters, witch hunters, and those who would use magic in an ill sense. Together, we shall undo the mess I created. However, this tale does not end here, for there is more to tell. Go, my students. Enjoy your lunch breaks. Class dismissed. Was that exciting for you, Valdremore?
Yes, although I am glad to have flesh no longer. Though I am sure these students will be covering their necks thanks to your gory details.
Have I offended you with my graphic description?
No, but you might have caused a shitstorm of panic.
Well, at least they'll be cautious.
I am eager to see how this wraps up, young man, before you go on to your next adventure.
And I am eager to tell it, old man. Though I might skip a few details from the next one. There are things I'd rather keep to myself.
Understood. Do what you think is best, Grayson.
I will. Thank you, Valdremore.